how to move from this sound to this sound by using the Portamento function. Hello dear friends, in this video I will introduce you one of the most important and nice features of the A5000, which is the Portamento. Let's start to see how to use it and learn how to program and edit it. When we choose a voice, for example the violin instrument, and we want to edit it, we press Menu, then Voice Edit. This page will open and we can find submenus like Common 1, Common 2, Controller, etc. Each submenu contains different parameters to edit the chosen voice. In this video, we will focus on Common 2 submenu, where we will find all the parameters concerning the Portamento. In this page, we can see the first line, poly or mono. In poly mode, we can play more than a note at the same time. For example, in mono mode, we can only play a single note at the same time. The next line, Portamento, allows us to turn it on and off. Let's keep Portamento on. Let's move to the next line, and here we can choose the type of Portamento. We have three different types: normal, legato, and crossfade. In normal mode, while playing and switching between notes, the next note will sound after the previous note is stopped, without any transition. In legato mode, the sound of the previously played note is maintained and only the pitch changes to that of the next note. And finally, crossfade mode. The sound smoothly transitions from the previously played note to the next note. In this video, we will use the crossfade mode. Let's move to the last line, which determines the Portamento time. If we choose a value of 0, we will not hear any Portamento. If we choose a different value, like 40 or 45, in this case, we can hear the Portamento. The Portamento function is completely editable in order to get a voice similar as possible to the original instrument. The next parameter, velocity used for crossfade Portamento. While playing, we can control the volume level, depending on how strong we play. Each time we play soft, the volume of the voice will be low. If we play harder, the volume will increase. This parameter determines which velocity takes priority when one note is held and the other one is played. We have two choices: first note and latest note. In first note mode, the velocity of the first played note takes priority. In other words, the velocity of the second note will be the same as the first note even if we played it softer. On the other hand, if we play the first note softly, the next note will sound soft even if we played it hard. For example, for the second choice, latest note, the behavior is the opposite. The velocity of the second note will not be affected by the first one. If we play a first note hardly and the next note softer, the keyboard will consider the velocity of the second note and the volume will be soft. For example, let's move to the next parameter, Portamento time type. This parameter determines how the keyboard calculates the Portamento time while playing, meaning the time spent from one note to another. This parameter offers two choices: fixed rate or fixed time. In fixed rate mode, the actual pitch transition time varies with the Portamento time value, but also according to the interval between the first note and the next one. The bigger is the interval, the higher will be the Portamento time. For example, if we play two notes at a small interval like C and D, we notice that the Portamento is fast. If we choose a bigger interval, for example from C to G, we notice that the Portamento is slower. This is how it sounds. In fixed time mode, the pitch transition time between two notes varies only with the portamento time value and will not be affected by the interval. Let's play the same examples. We choose portamento time 50. The interval is short. The portamento time is 50. The interval is bigger. We still have portamento time 50, so the portamento time is the same for all the intervals. In the second page of Common 2 sub-menu, we can find fast playing portamento and velocity to portamento time, and these are very important parameters to control portamento. Let's go through them step by step to cover every details of these parameters. The first function is fast playing portamento, which propose two parameters, portamento time and time threshold. As we already covered the portamento time parameter in the previous page and chose a value of 50. If we choose a different value for the second portamento time, we can ask ourselves which value the keyboard will consider when we play. The answer is simple. The keyboard will consider the value of the second portamento time if we play fast. The speed will be determined by the first parameter time threshold. This value expresses the time between one note and the next one while playing. While playing fast, the time between each note is short, meaning the threshold time is low. But if we play slow, the time between notes will increase and this value will be bigger. For example, we set the time threshold value to 11. So if we play fast, it means the threshold time is less than 11. The keyboard will consider this portamento time value. But if we play slowly, that means the threshold is bigger than 11. The keyboard will consider the original portamento time. Let's change the original portamento time to 20 and fast playing portamento time to 0, meaning the portamento is cancelled. Here, when playing slowly, we will hear portamento, but if we play fast, the portamento will be cancelled. Slow playing. Fast playing. In which case you can use this feature. Sometimes you don't need portamento in fast passages like trills. So with this feature, you can easily adjust the portamento time while playing. The second function is velocity to portamento time. Here the portamento time will be adjusted by the velocity, meaning how strong you play. The first parameter is velocity sensitivity, and its value ranges from -64 to 64. When the value is 0, we cannot control portamento using velocity. If we change the value to 40, for example, the softer we play, the longer is the portamento time. And if we play hard, the portamento time will decrease until reaching 0 for the highest velocity, which is 127. This behavior is inversed in negative value like -40. If we play hard, the portamento time will increase, and if we play soft, it will decrease. Softly? Hardly. The next parameter is reference velocity. Let's go back to positive value to explain this parameter. Actually, if we want to get slow portamento, we need to play soft. But then the volume may sound too quiet. Of course, we can fix this minimum velocity value for one voice in such a way that if we play soft, we will get this minimum value. We can find this parameter in Common 1 page, and it's called slow velocity limit. I'll explain all these parameters in details in a future video. Let's change the low velocity limit from 1 to 50. meaning the minimum volume of the voice will be 50 even if you play very soft. Let's go back to Common 2 page. Velocity to portamento time. Now, as we cancelled all velocities below 50, we can no more control the portamento time with soft playing. In this case, we need to increase the reference velocity, so we can get slow portamento with soft velocity while keeping a minimum volume of 50. For example, at value 64, we cannot control the portamento. If we increase the value to 76 or 77, we can now get slow portamento again. The last parameter is minimum portamento time. This value will be considered by the keyboard as the lowest possible for the portamento time, and will not decrease above it even if the original portamento time is set to a lower value. For example, let's set the portamento time to 0 and the minimum portamento time to 20. When playing, the portamento time will never get lower than 20. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon in another tutorial video for Yamaha PSR A5000.